Good evening from London. We've had a bit too much rain here in London, but everything else is okay. And hello from me, Dr. Dermot Hudson, the chairman of the British Group for the Study of the Juche idea, chairman of the Korean Friendship Association of the UK, and official delegate of the Korean Friendship Association for the United Kingdom, and also president of the Association for the Study of Songun politics. Today I'm just going to make a short video, or short talk I should say, about the recent successful cruise missile test in People's Korea. The Korean Central News Agency on the 13th of September reported that the Academy of Defense Science of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea successfully test-fired new type long-range cruise missiles on September the 11th and 12th, and that the launched long-range cruise missiles travelled for 7,580 seconds along an oval and pattern 8 flight orbits in the air above the territorial land and waters of the DPRK and hit targets 1,500 kilometres away. The test launches showed that the technical indexes, such as the thrust power of the newly developed turbine blast engines, the missile's navigation control, and the end-guided hit accuracy by the combined guided mode, met the requirement of designs. In all, the efficiency and practicality of the weapon system operation was confirmed to be excellent. End of quotation from KCNA. Of course, as usual, there was the usual shrieking and howling in the mainstream media about the DPRK cruise missile test, and I believe that old Sleepy Joe in the United States has actually woken up a bit. Well, something was needed to wake him up, wasn't it? It was the DPRK's missile test was actually the first missile test for about 18 months, and it was not actually an intercontinental ballistic missile. It didn't actually break or contravene any UN Security Council sanctions, and it was carried out on the territory of the DPRK, didn't affect any other countries. It was purely a self-defensive measure taken by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The mainstream media were virtually silent last week when South Korea actually carried out a submarine launched ballistic missile test last week. No one condemned South Korea for this. Where was the UN Security Council, we ask? Why were there no baying demands for sanctions on South Korea heard? Where were the headlines from the mainstream media, denouncing South Korea? Why weren't they saying things like, "Mad South Koreans threaten world peace, blah blah blah, read all about it, blah blah blah," etc., etc. This is a clear-cut case of double standards and hypocrisy. It's very clear, the DPRK's carried out a self-defensive test on its own territory. It's been denounced and condemned, but, South Korea, has actually tested a ballistic missile, but, nothing is being said about that. Now it's noticeable, but some of the reports attacking the DPRK in the mainstream media quoted South Korea-based European and American academics as condemning the test, and I think in one case calling for more sanctions against the DPRK. These people are indeed the attack dogs of the empire, or in the running dogs of the empire. The blockheads of the BBC, the British Brainwashing Corporation, or maybe that should be the Blockheads Brainwashing Corporation, carried an article on their website which was titled, "Why Does North Korea Keep Testing Missiles?" Well, the answer is simple, so simple. The DPRK tests missiles because it is under threat from the 30,000 US troops in South Korea and the 1,000 US nuclear weapons in South Korea, which have never been confirmed as being withdrawn. DPRK is also threatened by US troops in Japan, Okinawa, Guam, and the Philippines, and elsewhere in Asia. Also, People's Korea faces threats from Japan, an aggressive militaristic nation that hides behind the fake veil of peace. In the past, Japan colonized not only Korea, but large parts of Asia. And of course, during the Second World War, Japan was an Axis power, allied to Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy. The mainstream media never tells you that in fact South Korea spends $48 billion, yes, $48 billion on the military, and is the 10th biggest military spender in the world, ahead of Australia, Italy, Israel, Brazil, and Canada. And if you don't believe me, you can look it up for yourselves. These figures are widely available on the internet. It is clear as daylight that South Korea actually threatens People's Korea. In August this year, last month, the US and South Korea carried out military exercises targeting the DPRK. These exercises were about invading the DPRK and carrying out regime change, smashing up the socialist system, and occupying and colonising the DPRK. Also in the same month, British warships carried out exercises with the South Korean puppet navy. Therefore, if you see things, in the overall context, the DPRK's cruise missile test was simply a self-defensive measure to contain and deter the aggression that the DPRK faces. It is the sovereign right of People's Korea to defend itself against aggression, and it is the independent right of People's Korea to carry out missile tests in self-defense. The US, South Korea, Japan, or Britain or the UN have no right to interfere in it. Hands off People's Korea, defend People's Korea. Long live the Juche idea. Long live People's Korea. And, if you want to find out more about People's Korea and the Juche idea and the Songun idea and socialist construction in People's Korea, then, look us up on Facebook and Twitter, and please come to our events where you'll be able to hear from people such as myself who've visited the DPRK. We've got one meeting coming up in the west of England on the 26th of September, and we're hoping to fix a meeting for October in London and also in December, and we'll be continuing with the online events. And in the meantime, thank you all for your support. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe, and to our affiliated channel, Korean Friendship Association UK. And also, check out my author blogspot on lulu.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Stay safe and goodbye.